I'll
Make sure to get
upload.
that
I'll
out.
upload both of them after this. But yes, you guys are currently. You've just finished battle. Mostly intact, right? Like none worse for wear. What is it that you are wanting to do at this point? I'm sure all of you are quite a bit tired, but yeah, what's the plan?
I think we all need to short rest a little.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm noticing that some Oberon just got hit with lightning bolt, and Yuli doesn't seem very good health wise. So,
yeah.
I've got a question actually. What about Olive?
What
Can
about
Olive
Olive?
short rest? Is that possible? Kevin, do you know? She's a bit hurt, isn't she?
Yeah. Looking at DM.
How does that work?
Yeah, your dog can short rest. That's fine.
Oh, doggy can short rest. Doggy have hit
Yeah.
die.
Yeah, doggy has hit
Awesome.
dice, I think. What is your
Oh.
dog's hit dice? Let me check.
Yeah,
Give me a
I'm
second.
curious, like, does it work the same way?
Wolf stat block. His hit dice is a d6, right? You can just roll a. You can have two. Oh, it's a d. Is it d6 or d10? I think it's d10 actually. Yeah, you can roll. He has 3 hit dice. I'll say that he can roll if you wanna just track that. Then you can just roll a 1d10 or 3d10 or however many you want to use for your short rest.
Does the Song of Rest also apply to Olive?
Yeah, I guess so. He has ears.
Yay.
Olive is a friendly creature. So yeah.
Olive is a friendly creature, so.
I guess we can short rest, and looking at Avani full on hit points, Avani can investigate.
Yeah, that's right, Avani.
Does anyone need anything identified?
Oh, did we get anything? Yeah, right. Because some of y'all looted some things from the hag's fallen bodies, right? What do you guys find?
I listed it out at the very end, but I think it's also in the post office. It's the smelly wet black bag, small porcelain doll for Avani. Oberon has the 3 vials of foul smelling water, and Hako has the small silver signet ring with a mirrored surface instead of a crest. And Kevin found the sealed envelope with nail clippings.
Oh, that's nasty. I think we should identify what we can.
Yeah. Hold on. What's Kevin's Song of Rest dice? Is it 1d6 or 1d8?
Actually, look at it. 1d6.
Okay. I guess I'll also play Song of Rest while I'm gathering notes mentally before I write it out. So anybody who's short resting can do 2d6s, I think.
Does that
with me
stack?
and I would assume so.
Is it a stackable effect?
Is it not? If it's played by 2 separate people?
I wonder. I'm actually not very sure because logically it would stack, right? It's 2 different songs, but
yeah.
But I know the rules say that similar abilities don't, so I'm not sure.
Because some abilities don't stack. So like, does this
doesn't say
stack?
it doesn't.
Let's see.
Let me see. D&D Sage Advice. Already has. It's not my Wi-Fi. I'm back. Oh. Okay. Well, rules as written from Jeremy Crawford says features that have the same name don't stack with each other.
Right.
I mean, I guess. Okay, then. Never mind.
Yeah.
I guess you can't do a 5 bard party and have 5 bards play Song of Rest.
Yeah, I also think it makes sense that it wouldn't stack because, like, you can't listen to 2 songs at once, right? Can't have one in each ear. That's just kind of overwhelming. So I agree that it probably doesn't stack.
I was just thinking they would play different, like one would play and then the other person would play, but okay.
I think like
even if that's the case, I will still say no. What did you say?
Like Bardics do not stack, so like why would Song of Rest stack?
Wait, hold on. Ignore my roll. I clicked that accidentally. Charles, do you want to roll Kevin's Song of Rest then?
I don't roll it. You guys can roll it. You guys can roll an additional 1d6.
Oh, we roll it? Oh, okay,
Yep.
we do. Okay. Never
You
mind
add
then.
it to your thingy.
Chill.
What is
How do I do this again?
21? Oh, and then I have my bonus hit die from killing. Awesome. Oh, I wonder if we'll go into combat again today.
Oh, don't say that.
Don't tempt me.
What? Do you? Oh, I see. 1d8. Where's my
Yeah.
3? Got more mid rolls. 24, and then short rest.
Is this 10?
Hey, why does my automatically apply healing with dice and it is not doing that? But why? Beyond why? Fuck it, I'll just roll those 1d8 plus 2.
Could I take the short rest to also imbue my card? Because I realized I lost it in the long rest.
Yep. Which one are you doing?
Let's see. I'm gonna imbue it with
8.
Sorry, I'm like scrolling down my list.
Yep.
I feel like I wanna deal with this.
I just have to roll it manually. Fuck it. I don't know. Wow. Awesome. 3. So that is a 5. 2.
I'll do a mass cure. I'll imbue it with mass cure. So that way it can be a bonus action. Sorry, I will do that. I think it is.
Well, everybody, pick one item you guys want ritually identified.
My stinky water. I want to know if it's like poison or something.
Everyone agree?
Wait, hold on. Actually, if it's just one item, then what's more? I think the ring might be more interesting.
The ring seems more.
The ring or the porcelain doll, but probably the ring.
I wonder if there's a way to identify the water by using, like, I don't know, if anybody here is proficient with, like, nature. You know what I mean?
Oh, just the raw nature check.
Yeah. To determine if it's magical or not. But if it's identify, I think the ring or doll, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just to check, the porcelain doll, did it have any features? I believe it was mentioned, right? Blue hair,
it has
big hat.
Black hair.
It is black hair, and then blue eyes, and then a little hat.
A little hat? Is it like pointed hat?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Little pointy hat.
Oh, shit. Like a little, like, black magic doll thing. I think the ring.
The ring.
The ring? Everyone agreed the ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin ritually cast identify on the ring.
Okay.
Here's identify description.
Thank you. Yeah. This is interesting. Let me check something. Okay. Kevin, identify fizzles. You can give me an Arcana check.
Where's my character sheet? Arcana?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. With your 6, I think you're not sure why your spell didn't work. You think you cast it, like you managed to cast it, right? You did all the motions for casting it. It took the normal 10 minutes it usually does, but this ring doesn't have anything that identifies working on, apparently.
I passed this on to the group.
I see.
Maybe
it's
I don't
water.
know if it's the ring or I'm just I just can't. I'm too tired for this.
I mean, we've come across items where that didn't seem to be functioning. Maybe this is something that's like protected or warded, or I wouldn't be surprised. Everything's like super magical here, isn't it?
Can we do a raw arcana check, like just to see if there is something magical that's like emanating off the ring that's like, seems to be like it?
I mean, you guys can cast the spell Detect Magic. That's a spell.
Do we have a...
Who has it?
Does anyone have it?
That's a spell that exists that you can
use. I feel like
use.
Izzy is on it. I feel like if anyone has
magic?
I don't know.
Wait.
You can ask her. Roll anything in the meantime.
Yeah, well, she could feel that you guys were not doing well. Yeah, go ahead and ask her if she has it. Actually, I can go check.
Yeah. Avani has it.
Yumi was talking about it. So, like, yeah.
Yumi was asking about it.
Yeah.
Let me see spells. Detect magic.
Oh,
yep.
Avani do.
Okay. I will mark it off that she cast it, and yeah. So, Avani casts detect magic, and obviously she can sense all of the, like, magical items and shit that you guys have on you. The doll is emanating a faint sense of magic to it. Let me check your item list. Bop bop beep bop. The black wet sack is emanating a faint sense of magic to it, but nothing else that you've picked up.
Right. Can we get Avani to stand near the hags in case we missed anything?
I think she can do that, but trying to pinpoint like a sonar if there's anything on them for you to find is a little bit difficult, because by nature hags themselves are magical creatures, and the way that the weave is working in the Feywild, it's kind of like trying to pick out a light in the IKEA lighting department. Everything is lighting up. Everything is quite bright. It's turned up. The exposure is all like set up to high, right? So I think it takes a lot of concentration to be able to do detect magic, and it's a lot easier if you have the actual thing in front of you versus just trying to use it as a scanner, especially here.
Okay, so what do we have that's magical? The sack. The ring also picks. Also pings? No. Ring doesn't? Oh, okay.
Right? Because, Mon, you said only the doll and the black sack has faint magic, and the water and the ring doesn't.
Yep, right? The water and the ring does not. The sack, and the doll have like faint magic on them.
I see. I wonder if the water is purely something medicinal. The other option is it's just bad water, which it's totally possible.
Bad water.
You guys are free to make me, if you want to look at the water and figure it out, you can make me a nature check, or you can make me a medicine check.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Avani do a nature check with her +9?
No. I'm like, well, it's stinky water.
Use a nature or medicine.
Oh, Kevin got a 21.
Nice.
Wow. Oh, okay. 17.
You know what? I think it does make sense that, Kevin and Oberon, I think, would know what this feels like. Maybe Kevin more than most. Because of just your familiarity to it, Kevin. this is bog water. You've lived
Oh
in
my
a
God.
bog for a long time. Well, not a long time, but like a couple of years now, right? And you're from the south.
Yeah,
You're
for
from
like
the
at least a
Asbrian
decade.
south. And you know, the further south and the further southwest you go in that part of the world, the more the water looks like this. You haven't been that deep into the halberd wield, but even in like the location where Helena's Cross is, the water has this similar viscous, murky tone to it. You know, this is bog water for sure.
Karen's from Louisiana.
Kevin's from the coil equivalent of French Canadian
They were from the
Louisiana.
bayou?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Reminds me
Kevin's
of
from the
home.
bayou. Yeah, Kevin,
Bayou.
it reminds you of home.
Water.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is the water clear, or does it have like, I don't know, bits
Bacteria.
like things floating in it?
Oh, this water is the opposite of clear. You cannot see through it. It is, texture-wise, it's very generous that we're calling it water at all.
Not the
Oh, it's like
not the
slime
hag's
almost,
sports drink.
viscous.
Yeah. Do any of you touch the water? Question mark.
No.
I mean,
Does
no,
I'm like, Same, do you want to touch this water?
no. There's nothing in the water that's like. There's no fish in it. No.
So Sunray only touches water if there's fish in it.
Yeah, because like at least I can communicate with the fish. Meanwhile, this water it just looks stanky.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or,
I
like,
don't
how
know.
big
Maybe
is the
they're carrying
container?
around like it's the equivalent of like hag isotonic drinks or something, you know?
Hag Pokari sweat. Hag
Yeah.
Kari sweat.
Yeah, you know.
Kari.
I'll just well, I guess we don't need it. At least I don't think we need it.
Doesn't-
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to carry it around. Maybe it has something to do. I would mate. I don't know much about hag magic, but maybe it's a
What
component.
does the detect magic detect? In terms of school or in general?
Oh, excuse me, sorry. So on the doll, it detected, what would this be? Let me check. Oh. Yeah, transmutation magic is on the doll. And then on the bag, the wet bag, that is conjuration magic.
Oh, okay. Got it. Conjuration bag.
Oh shit. Alright.
And alright.
It's a curse.
Oh,
Transmutation magic on a doll?
Yeah.
Did the doll used to be a person?
Sure sounds like a curse.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Ooh, but like I mean, the hags were doing some really crazy stuff. So I mean, it makes sense that they would imprison, or at least try to imprison people that they thought could have been of value. I don't know. Do you
I
want to
can
do
try to
anything
spell
about this?
magic if you guys wanna
I mean,
see what it was transmutated in.
Hmm.
you can try, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a downside to it, unless of course it tries to kill us.
Oh, stand around the door threateningly.
Are we all in agreement? Just so
Yeah.
making sure I don't accidentally
No.
free another hag.
I'm for it. I'm for it if you're willing to cast.
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean, there's a chance
prepare-
it won't work again, so let's see.
It's okay. I'll stand around Kevin and the doll in case the doll turns into like a worse hag or something.
I'll prepare my rope of entanglement. Lasso it if it tries to, I don't know, lunge at us.
So are you casting Dispel Magic, Kevin?
Yeah, I casted Dispel Magic at 3rd level.
At third level, you need to make me a spellcasting ability check, please.
Okay. Just remind me what do I need to roll?
What's your spellcasting? What's your spellcasting ability?
Isn't it charisma?
Yeah, just roll me a charisma check.
I'll just flat out charisma.
It should be that, I think.
10.
Yeah. So you're trying to dispel the magic on this, Kevin. Actually, while you're doing that, also give me another Arcana check, please.
Okay, this time a bit better. 21.
Better. Yeah. So you're casting your dispel magic on this little doll, this little porcelain doll, and immediately you can tell it's like butting up against something that is quite a bit stronger than your third level dispel magic is able to sort of dissipate. And as you're like watching your spell and feeling your spell sort of bounce off of it, you can tell that the magic on this doll is, not to quote Shrek, but like an onion. There's layers. There is the layer of, what is it? Transmutation magic that you like initially felt, but underneath that is a layer of enchantment magic. So there's more than one thing affecting this doll. And your spell dispelled neither of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Kevin's like, I'm sorry, I tried, but we did learn there is more than one magic on it.
Oh, so this, if there's more than one magic, I guess this must be some really important person? Because, like, I mean, that seems like a lot of trouble to go through if this was nobody, you know?
Yeah. Wait, with my Arcana check, do I sense, like, how much higher the, like, spell's level is?
The first spell, the transmutation one, you think the DC for that one will be 17.
I see.
The second one, you don't know.
Okay.
So, wow. That's a 7th level spell then. That's high as fuck. Damn.
Maybe we can find somebody who can help this guy out.
Yeah, or somebody who recognizes whatever this is. Are there any more noticeable features on, like, Mr. Porcelain Doll?
Yeah, I mean, it's Miss Porcelain Doll, actually, or, well, it's more feminine presenting than that. It's they're wearing, like, a little, like, dark blue dress, and the eyes just sort of, there's no mouth and there's no, like, ears or anything, but it is, like, you know, I'll say, because you have it in your hand and stuff, it's in very good condition. Compared to the hag's, like, other stuff, which is kind of stinky, a little dingy, a little sticky, this is, like, very well kept.
Oh.
The little clothes and the little hat on it, they look very well made, like finely crafted. And size-wise, I would say it's about the size of like a Nendoroid, I guess. Like Nendoroid size.
Dude, so morbid. A little guy, a little person Nendoroid.
Yeah. Something like that, sure.
Oh man. Alright. Okay. Well, we should probably keep this quite carefully then.
Well, okay, Oberon turns to Eulalie and is like, well, Eulalie, this is your home, this is your domain, so is there anything you can tell us about how we should conduct ourselves in the Feywild with regards to, I don't know, names, power structures, etc.?
Eulalie look at Oberon and just I don't know, just be normal.
Oh, okay. So can we? Monica. May I roll a history check to see if he has read anything that might be of use? A guide to the Feywild, etc., etc.
I will allow it at disadvantage because in Asbria, I don't think people there are talking about the Feywild, to be frank with you. I don't think there's any interest in it. Aside from, I guess that's a thing that happens in Lower Orchard. Shrug, not our business. Because in Asbria, I think a lot of people are concerned with the material plane in the here and now. And this is like sort of not related to them.
Does Asbria not get like texts ranging from fiction to nonfiction on adventuring in general?
If there is, they don't talk about the Feywild. Give me a history check, not for this, just a different one.
Okay, just for the flat. Okay.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah. You're aware that like you yourself don't have a lot of experience or exposure to the Feywild, even in texts. You know of it because people have spoken of it, maybe like in your adventures and like in your travels, but if you have heard of it, it's generally not within Asbria. There is an aspect to an other planar existence that lies outside the power structure of Asbria that does not mesh well with that power structure, and thus a lot of talk about the Feywild and other planes in general, just not popular. I think talking about and study of other planes within the coil as a whole is on the lesser side, simply because you guys have an easy go of it for the most part because you are, adventurers and you're powerful. But for most people, that stuff, not my fucking problem. Life on the coil is not super easy, as you have all seen. There's lots of shit going on all the time. It's almost like it's a playground for, supernatural deities to smack each other and you're the collateral. And so talking about the Feywild, this sort of like other planar place that you can't even access normally, not really a big thing, especially in Asbria.
Okay.
Hence the disadvantage if you're trying to specifically think of Feywild stuff.
Well, I'll roll for fun if anybody else wants to also conjure up things, because Oberon brings up things or advantages or disadvantages that you need to know about in the Feywild.
Before you roll, I want to ask, what are you trying to roll for specifically?
Okay. Let's just go with the most common thing, at least like in IRL lore of like names, like more when non-Feywild denizens enter the Feywild.
Most common names?
No. I was saying like just IRL, folklore, but like in terms of what Oberon wants to know, very specifically, if there are disadvantages on giving out your actual name, like your real name, to denizens of the Feywild.
Okay. I guess my question is, why would Oberon ask that?
Okay, fair point.
Because I know as a player, you're like, that's sussy and it's the Feywild, but why would Oberon know that? I don't want, like, not to it feels a little metagamey to me. Unless Eulalie straight up tells you guys about stuff, I don't think. Also, I don't know if she knows it.
I guess she does know.
Yeah. Eulalie, do you tell them about giving your name in the Feywild?
Yeah, she can tell them about it.
Yeah, if that's the case,
from this point on, you need to censor your yeah.
I think Eulalie knows that you're not really supposed to do it. my question begets: does Yuli know why?
Okay, so I'm assuming because she is technically from a rich family that she would actually have to learn this when she was young.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably knows, but when she grows up, she just become like those TikTok scroller guy kind of person.
Yeah. Honestly, I think, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think Yuli was taught this, and your brothers have told you, like, you know, don't give your names out to strange people. Also, can you put your phone down for like 3 seconds? No? Okay, that's fine. Like, your brothers have told you this, like, pretty consistently. Your mom has told you this pretty consistently. You know the reason why, but to you that doesn't, like, really apply because you never really talk to anybody that you'd have to have an issue with giving your name.
Right.
Well, I mean, I did ask Yuli straight up, like, is there anything we should know about the Feywild? Like, in terms of what we should do, shouldn't do? Especially since we're going into a war against magical hags, so we might need all the advantage we can get. Like, anything would help, really.
Well, Yuli?
I mean, I usually can tell them, but personally,
Rain cannot.
I don't know shit.
Okay, yeah, I'll be nice. Yuli, give me a history check. Just to see how much you can remember to tell them. Okay. That's you can guidance, yes. Roll your guidance.
Remember your path.
Hako's like, this is the one chance we get to get any information. We need it now. yeah, Rain, roll a d4 to add to your history check.
So 15.
15. That's decent, right? Yeah, so Yuli, I think at first it's just like, I mean, it's just like another place. You come here and you do stuff, and then you go on vacation, and then you go home, and then you eat dinner, and then Hako slaps you upside the head, and then you feel like magic sort of like pulsating from the sore spot on the back of your skull. And you're like, okay, wait. Okay. Yeah, generally, you know, the name thing, I think, just don't tell it to randos. You can have like a fake name and it's fine. Like don't pick an ugly one, but you know, just, you know, any fake name will do. What happens when you give it to people? Probably nothing good, so just don't do it, I guess. I don't know what else. Actually, I don't know where we are right now, but in general, there's like a bunch of different places you can go in the Feywild. Not that I don't really go to them because they're kind of, there's nothing to do there. So we should just go to the summer court and back to my house because that's probably the nicest place to go. That's where yeah, Miss Merlin is, you know. I think that, you know, she's in the castle, and we should probably go help her. Maybe I need to talk to my mom before she yells at me, and I need to make sure that she doesn't burn down my closet and she knows that I'm here. Yep, that's mostly it.
Well, do you remember the way back to your house or the castle, the summer court?
I don't know where I am.
Know where we are?
I don't think you know where you are.
Yeah, because I mean, I point to like the big swirly portal at the end of like this glade. Is that how you people travel, like through portals?
Yuli will tell you that usually they don't need to use the portals if they are of high enough magic or standing, like Eulalie is. They have like magical items and, you know, their own fey magics to get themselves to the material plane. These portals and others that pop up in the Feywild, and they do pop up sort of randomly and also consistently depending on where you are, which is to say incredibly unpredictably, are for usually the Fae that aren't powerful enough to hop over themselves or have something restricting them from leaving the Feywild, or etc., etc. And so, or actually, as it happens, a lot of people who stumble in from the material plane to the Feywild, their only recourse out is usually these random portals that'll pop up places.
And the one on the end of the glade is still active, right? Not the one that we came through, but the one that Millie was supposedly guarding. This one?
That's not a portal.
What is that?
Eulalie shrugs. I don't know.
Oh, wow. I thought it was the same thing because this one was swirly. Is that a rock?
Yeah, from what you guys see, it is a big sort of black onyx boulder. There's a couple of like cracks in it, and it is sort of emitting like a faint purple light.
Oh shit, it's an egg.
I don't know.
Damn.
Well,
Emitting black.
I mean, if it was like something dangerous, I feel like people who live here would have thought about it. So maybe we should just leave it be. Get to Merlin?
Eulalie, you know that that's like false. The Feywild, Eulalie, you live in like a quote-unquote civilized part of it, but most of the Feywild is nonsense. Like, people here barely keep cities together. It is a miracle that there is any running water or plumbing. There usually isn't. It's not that it's backwater in technology, it's that the populace and the people that live here are kind of extremely eccentric and whimsical in that the trappings of the material plane, like quote-unquote plumbing, not really, we'll just magic the shit away, who cares, right? Like, this is like the shit like that is not really priority number one to people here because of the unpredictability and the wildness of this place. I don't know how much of that Eulalie tells you, but
well, I mean,
yeah, she just straight up. She just tells them like, just don't be surprised if you see poop somewhere or whatever.
That's such a weird thing to say. My house is beautiful. There's poop everywhere outside of it, though. That's
not near her house.
Oh, your house is nice.
Somewhere else.
Okay, got it. So, I mean, how do you get there? How do you get to your house?
Very good.
You just have some sort of like special fairy magic thing that you can do.
Since Eulalie's back in her Feywild, can she like, I don't know, call her mom or whatever? Like,
what are you homing pitching? Yeah, I think, don't you have something to contact her with?
I guess her Feywild iPhone.
Her iPhone.
Her eyes grow.
Let me see.
Wait, quick question. Well, after you figure out the Feywild iPhone, does Oberon's advanced scrying slate work here?
Oh, no, bro.
No? Okay.
Nah, dog. You can open it all you want. It's not connect. There's no internet here. CoilNet does not work in this plane. Absolutely not. So that's bunk. Yep.
How it was established that Eulalie, so can Feywild Wi-Fi connect to CoilNet, but not the other way around? Because Eulalie specifically said that when I invited her to be my stream manager, he was like, "Oh, I don't want my parents seeing on like the CoilNet."
Yeah, you don't know why she said that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I need a sim.
Yeah, so Eulalie, you have your signet ring, which is your sort of mark of your pedigree, so to speak, and it is also a way to communicate with your family. It's like an emergency, like "Mom, come pick me up, I'm scared" button. You can use it. It's connected almost like a sending stone to your eldest brother, and so you can communicate with him via that. You usually communicate to your brothers rather than directly to your mother because she will yell at you.
No.
Yeah, she will communicate with like her youngest brother number 4.
What's brother number 4's name?
Brother
number 4.
Yeah, she just saved him. Like her contact is just saved as brother number 4.
Okay. What message do you send? So it's basically a sending stone that you can use to communicate to him with. Sending, if you don't remember, you can basically send a message that is, I think it was like 25 words or less. The creature hears it. Here, I'll type it for you. Go ahead and type up the message that you want to send to your brother that fits within these constraints.
While Eulie's typing.
That's all you send?
Wait, what?
That's it?
That was so short.
Is that all you send, Rain?
Yeah.
Okay, you get a reply back. Yeah, go. Let me see how many words this is. Let me open that. Where can't? This is funny. Oh yeah. Okay, you get a reply back, and you hear this come out of the little ring. You all hear it. It is out loud for some reason. Eulalie has it on speakerphone, and you hear a voice go, "Ah, my dearest sister, how great and fortuitous to hear from you. I am so happy to hear of your return. Mother is most displeased, but..." And then it cuts off.
Who was that?
That's 25
Is there
words.
some guy here with us?
Oh. Hattie. I like that. Bit unfortunate.
Did she send another message?
For our user.
Oh wow.
What did you say, Rain?
Can she send like another message, or is just one thing?
Yeah.
That's it. But after that cuts off, you see the signet ring. It lights up again, and this time it sort of like starts to glow like a pinkish color, and then you see there's like an arrow pointing up, like pointing north.
She looks at, well, go no. Hee.
Okay. Well, I guess we just follow? Question mark.
Before we head out of the map sphere, so to speak, can Oberon take a closer look at the big glowing purplish rock thing and do an investigation check to see if maybe it's some sort of egg?
Do we like, loot the bodies already?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Toenails and stuff.
Okay.
What do you want to see if it's an egg, Oberon?
Yeah, because I think it was Same who said something about, is it an egg?
Yeah, but
why not?
We didn't know anything.
And how are you doing this?
I'll go up to it and knock on it.
Okay. You go up and you knock on it. It is hollow inside, but it does like sort of make like a crisp like knock knock sound.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, how curious.
said it's like a rock, right? Like some sort of big monolith thing, right?
I didn't say anything. I just said it's a big round boulder looking thing.
Okay, boulder looking thing. Makes a sound. Okay, well. Could be an egg, could not be an egg. Do we want to do anything with it? Or should I guess we'll just leave it be for now?
Yeah, I don't think we should touch any, like, I don't think we should touch like, anything that seems too magical in this space.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like there's a bunch of construct around it, right? So, might be important.
Well, all things considered, like, the objects here haven't actually been harmful. It was the hags, right? So, I'm chill with just leaving it be.
Okay. Also, what are we gonna do about our names? You literally said that we're not supposed to give out our names, so code names?
I guess. Well, if any one of you is lying about your current name, probably don't need to worry.
Yeah. Should we just... I mean, the easiest thing... Hold on. Let me just look at it. The easiest thing would just go by our letter of our first name. You know?
like, I mean, I guess we'll figure it out. Like, agents.
That's Agent of what?
I don't know.
Who are we agents of?
I don't know. That's okay. I mean, we'll just figure it out as we go. You know?
I think... Okay, you know what? Unless we come up with something better, it'd be best to not yell out our real names in the middle of another, I don't know, hag ambush. So we can just call ourselves by, I don't know, letter of our first name, unless somebody has anything better.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Oh my god, Yadi. Okay. Oh. Yadi wants their names to be spelled out Sakar so bad.
Sakuhara moment.
No way.
Help.
Anyways. Yeah. Well, I guess it's time to head north to follow this signet ring.
Yeah.
Okay then. And yeah.
So you guys...
Oberon's also
what?
Writing notes as he's walking.
Okay.
He's collecting data. FYI, the data the collection happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys start to follow Yuli's ring north. Whoever is walking, I'm gonna say it has to be Yuli because it's her ring and she's following it. Yuli, go ahead and make me a survival check to see how well you can stay the course at the moment.
Can we say Avani gives the help action?
Yeah, sure. You can roll it again, Yuli, because you have advantage from Avani helping from beyond the grave.
No. Right here. I mean, I know Yuli has home ground advantage, right? Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We don't know about that.
Being from the Feywild doesn't really give you any confidence as to what the Feywild is like direction-wise.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you guys are sort of like walking along in this forest. The Feywild around you is like, you know, maybe you didn't notice it when you first showed up because you were so, it was busy. You walked through an evil portal and then you got ambushed by a bunch of hags. But, the Feywild, as you're sort of walking through this forest where like the stones give way to more forest, but there's still definitely like stones here and there. This place is like, it's quite beautiful, actually. Its natural beauty is sort of bathed in a not quite twilight, not quite dawn sort of light. You're not entirely sure what time of day it is. And even after walking for quite some time, it seems like the light doesn't change in that aspect. Those of you with high perceptions, you can kind of tell that your senses feel a little heightened. the smells of the forest are quite strong. If you have any snacks while you're on the road, the tastes feel more intense. It's almost like you're looking at somewhere through like 4K HD surround sound audio, like the whole shebang. It is an intensely sensory experience being in the Feywild. It feels like it could be somewhere in the material plane in the coil, but at the same time entirely not. How are you guys feeling as you're walking through this otherworldly landscape with Eulalie being the one leading you, such as she is? What are your characters thinking about feeling at the moment?
Well, I think Oberon is less perceiving the general surroundings and more actively, at least like visually, like investigating like things that he picks up that he thinks is like, oh, interesting, and just can't obviously investigate for long, but like, you know, as we're trapezing through, it's kind of like it's like, oh, like, you know, that looks kind of funky, and like taking mental notes of like bits and things, like environment that look like weird or interesting here and there.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Salma is just taking it in stride. She can't help but remember all the people that went to Miori acted like Place Japan, right? And she's like, wow, I wonder what people who come to the Feywild like act like. I think she's wondering how she should act, but at the same time, like, is also thinking maybe it doesn't matter. Nothing really seems to matter too much in this place. I guess it's okay. Also thinking a lot about food, I think. The senses are heightened, right? It's like, wow, if I eat stuff here, like, wouldn't it be like extra tasty?
Oh yeah, it's like you ate one of those flavor berries.
Yeah.
And everything
She's
tastes
mad wishing that
crazy.
she had a bagel right now.
A Fey bagel.
Yeah.
How about Kevin and Hako and Eulalie? How are you feeling?
I'm you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Kevin's just like also just looking around, observing like the different nature as he often watches grass, and just like looking at Olive every now and then.
Oh.
Yeah, speaking of Olive will like run ahead. This is sort of the area that you guys are in now. You're in the forest away from the ruins, but around you are still more ruins. Olive will like run ahead past Eulalie and then like run back to you and then sort of do it again. Like Olive gets farther and farther away every time and takes a little bit longer each time to come back, but you know, Olive is coming back every now and again.
Every time Olive comes back, Kevin like pets her a lot. Puppy. It's like, oh, who's a good boy? Pet.
Yeah, Olive does slobber on your fingers.
Yes, fine. Kevin is used to slobber.
Dog slobber?
Dog slobber.
Yeah. How about you, Hako? How are you feeling being in this place after doing all the shit you've been doing?
Weird. Weird, but like it's like they started, like, technically starting from the game, it's been weird from the get-go. So they're kind of like, what's the saying? Different face, same stuff, same shit, sort of. Where it's like, great.
Not this shit again.
Great, more shit's going to happen, but we're in a different place. It's just dressed differently. I would say they're kind of like trying to be more aware of their surroundings. Try to like map out anything familiar when it's time to like get back, possibly. But I don't know. Do they? How are they feeling in like a new plane? I don't think, because like they've been whisked away already a few times, at least in dreams. So how does How does this feel, Monty?
I will say maybe for Hako, being in a new plane, experiencing all these strange things, like physically your body is there, right? But maybe for Hako at this point, mentally, it's a little bit like, I don't know if I, had a normal life before this to miss or to compare it to. And the idea that this quote unquote is just my life right now, more than like anger or frustration or confusion for Hako, it almost feels a little bit like resignation, which is strange to feel in a place that is literally a different realm to the one that you've known. Not that you've known that place for very long, to be frank, memory wise, but like, and maybe that startles you, that you're like, oh, this is just my life, and because you don't know if it's your life.
Yeah, it sounds good.
And you, Lily, do you have any strong emotions either way about being back in the Feywild? Anything you're looking forward to?
Just can't wait to go back to her room.
She wants to it's just sort of neat.
So true, girl.
Yeah, as you guys are sort of like making your way through the ruins, through the forest, thinking about these things, you notice that like the surroundings that you're hiking through, they sort of like shift and change in your peripheral vision. Hako, you notice that like as you're walking past some of the like flora that's on like the side of whatever road that Yuli's got you on, the flowers seem to like droop a little bit. They seem to wilt. They seem to be, a little less lively. But like in maybe Oberon's case, they will as you're walking and noticing the flora and fauna, it's almost like they're turning towards you to give you a better look. They seem to be not exactly following you as you walk, but almost like they're proud. They're like sitting up and like showing themselves off, and you can get a good look at the things that are in the environment around you. Hi, Yumi.
Hi.
Sunmei, as you're walking and like I'm assuming you guys are in like a file line following Yuli while you're walking through these ruins. Sunmei, you can smell something in the distance.
Oh.
That smells really good.
Oh wow.
It smells real tasty. It almost smells like freshly baked bread. And like a little bit of like salty sea salt in the air. But you can't hear like the ocean or anything. But it's making you a little hungry. And then Kevin, you just see Olive like leave and then come back and leave and come back, and it seems like the road ahead of you, as you like follow Olive with your eye, is stretching on longer and longer, letting him go longer and longer distances, to the point that sometimes like it's getting to the point where you kind of like lose track of where he is with your eye just for a little bit before you can see his shape sort of like start to come in, bounding through the wood again to come back to you. And then for you, Eulalie, you're sort of like flitting through the Feywild. You don't know where this place is exactly and how close you are to your house, but there's something about not being in the material plane to you that feels like you can fly a little faster, fly a little lighter, there was like a bit of like a not a fog per se, maybe a mental fog while you were in the material plane that has dissipated as soon as you've made it back to the Feywild. Avani, I'm assuming you're walking with them as they're headed out. What you miss is that Eulalie contacted her brother through her sending stone ring to let him know, hey, we're lost, come pick me up. Unfortunately, brother is quite verbose and forgot that it's only 25 words, and so was not able to pick Eulalie up, even if that was a thing that he could do. But the ring did start to, after the sending was done, start to point in a direction, started pointing north, presumably from one of Eulalie's brother's interference to try to help her to get home. And now you guys are currently hiking through the forest. My question that I will pose to you, that I've posed to everybody else, if you're ready, Yumi, how is Avani feeling about being in the Feywild? What is her, what is on her mind at the moment? How are her emotions like? Yumi?
Oh.
Oh no, did Yumi not hear any of the stuff I just said?
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Oh no, I heard you. I just.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
No. I heard you, but like I don't know if you guys can hear me.
I can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. Did you hear?
Okay, so it just cut out for a bit. Is that what happened?
I think.
Yeah.
I think I asked you. Yeah.
I haven't had any issues hearing you. I haven't had any issues hearing you, so I think it should be okay. But
okay, cool. Yes.
Yeah. And I was saying, I think she's fascinated by the new environment because you know she's traveled around nature a lot, but it's not like this is totally different from everything she's ever seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So curiosity, fascination, little bit.
Yeah, I think your curiosity in this case sort of like manifests itself maybe similar to like how the environment is reacting to Oberon, in that like you're sort of like walking through and taking in the sights and the sounds, and every now and again like the light of the Feywild is, like I said, that perpetual twilight, like time between time sort of vibe. Every now and again you see like sort of like motes of light flitting around the place. You're not sure if they're fireflies or something else, but you know, sometimes one, you'll see it in your peripheral vision, it'll land on a plant that you've never seen before, and then like sort of flit away, and then another one will like land on the like base of a ruin where the building looks like it is impossibly constructed, like that physics didn't really matter when they were making this building, and it's just fascinating to look at, and sort of these little motes of light kind of like lead your eye as you're walking past this trail.
Cool.
But yes, you guys are walking for quite some time, and then eventually the little compass on your ring, Eulalie, it starts to point eastward, sort of like northeastward, and you guys find yourselves in like exiting the forest into like sort of a like a clearing, I guess. And in the clearing you can see there's a couple of what looks like settlements, you think. It's mostly more ruins, but this time the ruins have colorful banners on them. They're sort of like fluttering in the wind. You can hear just like the quiet din of chatter. Maybe people are in the ruins somehow. And up ahead, you see amongst some of the buildings that have banners on them, there is a sign for what looks like an inn. The inn is called, let me check my notes. It's called the Purple Fairies Tankard. And you see like someone just like opens the door, kind seems to be a elf with sort of like whitish hair. And they turn around and they say, you owe me a drink someday. You'll regret not giving me one now. I won't let you forget it. And then they do a bow at the door, and then inside you all faintly hear someone is booing, and then they the white-haired elf gets like a tomato thrown at them or some sort of red fruit. And they just barely don't manage to dodge, so it like catches their shoulder. And they say, "Oi! Not everybody appreciates my art, okay? And I see that you are all unable to do so, and so I will take my leave. Good day." And then you hear more boos coming from inside the tavern as this elf sort of like brushes themselves off, and then stands in the road with their like hands on their hips and just like huffs out like, "Oh. What do you guys want to do? You just walk past this person, and that's the sort of the scene you see at the moment."
Sorry, just to go back a little, you said that, what is it? We were walking north, but then the road headed east? And then
there's not really a road that you guys are following. You're mostly following Yuli, who is flying. And so Yuli kind of just has you scrambling over rocks sometimes, scrambling over ruins and buildings. And it was Yuli's ring that was pointing north, and now it's sort of pointing northeast.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
But yeah, you've made it to this sort of clearing where some of the big old growth forest has dissipated, and there's still a lot of like the ruins and bits, but this seems like sort of cleaned up and occupied. There's not that many buildings, right? There's just the one big main ruin that has the colorful banners on it, that's the inn, and there's a couple of smaller outposts that don't seem to have anybody on them. There's also what looks like a stable. You can't see it's like on the other side of the building, so you can't tell like what animals, if there are any, that are in there. But yeah, you see this this scene that I just described.
Oh. Well, nobody else is gonna do anything. Oberon's gonna walk up and be like, sympathetically be like, not a receptive crowd today, eh?
This elf will like sort of turn to you and give you an eyebrow raise and be like, "No, these people, they don't appreciate the arts. It's I came here to distribute my talents, but and then gives you a once over. I don't think they'd appreciate your type of art either, just FYI."
No, what arts?
Who are you? Who are you people? Can I help
You
you?
just happen to be passing by, so what arts do they not appreciate? Couldn't just happen over here.
They put their hand on their forehead in like sort of a dramatic, almost like I'm about to faint pose, and say, "Ugh, they don't understand the art of drama, of storytelling, I'm just giving the biggest and the best of the latest goss, and they won't hear it. It's slanderous, honestly. They just don't understand the interpretation of recent events. Not really their style. And you know what? More offensively is that they said I was not, my visuals were not up to par to the source material, which frankly offensive, incredibly offensive. Look at me. What do you mean I'm not up to par with the visual material? It's a very beautiful elf, like objectively speaking. Like I imagine if I looked like, I don't know, and then like points to Kevin like that, maybe it's like, okay, we get it. There's some freaky little human, but like look, come on, really, just not. I don't understand it.
I mean, why don't you give us a sample of like this latest news, right?
What for
what's
free?
your drama?
I've performed for free once already today. I'm not doing it again. I'm not an idiot, okay? If you want to pay for my art, go. I'm gonna go back to my company, and we're gonna put on a show. And if they promote it properly, oh, actually, I should promote it now. And they like rifle through like a bag on their pouch, and they hand you. It looks like a scroll on a leaf. There's nothing on it, and they just hand it to you. They say, we'll be performing. What's the word for it? And the word for like performing, we're gonna be performing al fresco, so you know the nature and the elements gonna add to the stage of it all, and we'll be in town, and you can count that as a ticket to see real art, okay? And then they like look at the building. Real art for real art connoisseurs.
Wow.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. They do love some good art.
Yeah. Well, most people should. I'll bid you goodbye, adieu. And then they'll turn around and start walking towards the stables. Now that you guys have approached this person and approached the building, you can see that at the stables, it looks like a seahorse. It's like a sort of, I don't know who knows what a seahorse is except for Sunmay.
Yeah.
I don't think any of you, Sunmay and Eulalie would know what the seahorse is, but I don't think any of the rest of you would know what this is. But it is a creature that has no legs and no arms, and has a curly little head and a curly little tail. And it has these large dragonfly wings. The creature is of horse height, but not as long. But it has these large dragonfly wings and what looks to be like a saddle sat right on the back. And you see this like white-haired elf just sort of like hop on to this creature that Sunmay would know is a seahorse. And the thing just starts to fly into the air. And as they they sort of fly past you, they turn around and say, do you all smell of material plane? Do you even know where town is? Are you going to make it to the show? Otherwise I'll take the ticket back.
Well, you might want, is there only one town in this entire area?
Well, yes. Do you not know where you are?
Afraid not. Actually, we just arrived.
Really are just fresh out the portal. Yes, we are in Rinketorg's ruins. As you can see from the ruins around us, there's only one town, which is Rinketorg's ruins. Just go. I don't know what is this in walking bits. I don't know. Just go sort of northish, and then don't get lost by the big wet tree. Get right by the big dry tree, and then you should be able to find it, more or less.
All right.
Well, thanks for the directions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Adieu. See you for the performance. And
we'll see you there. Looking forward to it.
They'll fly away, vaguely north.
Okay. Well, no, he said basically. So we're at Rinketorg's ruins right now, right? I'm just looking at the map you gave us in the.
Another island. Starting off on another island. I see.
According to what he just said, that we are at Rinketorg's ruins, and we should go north-ish towards that. Towards the building on the map that is where the town is.
Oh, there's
a town. Go right by the big tree and don't get lost by the wet tree? Something like that.
Well, anyway, dry good, wet bad is all I got.
Dry good, wet bad? That's the new title.
But
okay,
well,
I mean
yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to continue north?
That's what the ring says anyway, right?
Yeah. I mean, I assume that's where we'll have to go, that direction to get a boat to go anywhere else anyway, given the map that we are looking at.
We want to take a look into the inn tavern before we leave.
If you want.
Yeah,
But basically, our next destination is north. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like out of character, but like, yeah, we do not have a map as players or as characters, no. So we just know we gotta go north to get to the main town that is in these ruins.
Yeah, so are you guys gonna go in the tavern, or are you gonna just keep walking north?
What do you guys think?
I guess we can pop.
Are we
in.
really
Stopping
gonna
by
go
the tavern
watch?
would
Hold on,
be
I look at Yulili really quick, and it's like,
interesting.
Yulili, the Feywild does run on normal, what is it? Standard gold, silver, bronze payment, right?
Does it?
Yulili, you've never paid for anything with your own money in your life. You've no idea.
It tells over online. I don't know. I usually just use my name. I just tell them to bill it to them. So
She
I
says,
don't know.
put it on my tab and moves on.
Yeah.
So a line of credit. Well, that's good. You said
Because
that
the rich people problems.
the leaflet that we got has nothing on it, right? It's empty.
It's a literal leaflet.
Or it's blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a leaflet, and it's made of leaves. You see leaves on it. It's one big
Yeah.
leaf, actually. You see leaf.
Is there anything on it? Like if we inspect it?
We'd be like,
Sorry,
Yuli, do you know
what
how to read
species
this?
of tree is this?
Yuli, you can read it. This thing, you can just see it. It says, cordially invited, one party, worth of entrance to the Rinketorg theatrical groups, summer soiree performance al fresco at the big tower, the dry one.
The big tower, the dry one.
That's what it says.
Oh, is there writing on it, or can we just not
Yeah.
see it?
We can't see it, but Yuli can.
Yuli can see it.
Uh,
Actually,
She was not.
I think Sunmei, you can see it too.
Oh,
Somebody
okay.
can
Because
see
I was
it.
wondering because of my ability.
Yeah,
'Cause
Sunmei can
if
see
it's,
it.
if it's like, okay, yeah. And I look at it and I'm just like, yeah, well, it says here, yeah, dry good, wet bad.
Dry good, wet bad.
Which
That's the
is
Feywild. Dry good, wet bad.
Yeah. Like, I think they live in a tower that's super dry, which is why he said avoid the wet tower. But I don't know why a tower would be wet, you know?
I think it's a tree, not tower. But
Well, it says here the dry tower tree. I guess trees are towers here? I don't know. But a town is definitely up north.
I mean, they could have turned the tree into a tower.
I guess so. Well, we'll probably need to pass by some kind of civilization, right?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose there is a war going on, and Merlin might be in danger. So, quick stop. And I guess if the play blows, then we shall leave early.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, where are you guys headed?
We are headed to the town, the only town in Rinketor's ruins, and specifically to the dry tower. I
Okay.
suppose.
Go ahead and yeah, Yuli, make me another survival check with advantage, because I'm assuming Avani is helping you as you try to make your way north. Go ahead and roll it again. Yeah, 19, much better. Yep. Now that you're out of the sort of old growth thick forest, it's not super difficult to navigate through the ruins. It seems like there's ruins as far as the eye can see. actually. So that doesn't really count as a marker. Eventually, though, you come across a ruin that is sort of entwined with one of the old growth trees, and who's walking in the front? Yeah, I'm assuming Avani, because you're helping navigate. Avani, make me a quick dexterity saving throw.
Sure. 24.
Yeah, no problem. So you're all walking. Yuli is flying, so she doesn't need to do it. But as you're walking past this ruin that's sort of entwined with a tree, you like manage to catch yourself as you like slip on this incredibly slick moss that is almost like subsuming this ruin and this tree. As you guys sort of see Avani like catch herself, like almost as you would like, you know, just tripping on like wet ass stone, you see that like the whole area, like this tree and building is sort of to the west of you. This area has been like overgrown with this like slick, wet, slightly slimy moss, and it's gonna be a, you know, you I think a bit hard to navigate, but yeah, go ahead and as you pass through it, unless you guys are doing something special, you can all make me dexterity checks to just sort of walk past this section of the trail.
Are we just doing flat out dex?
Dex save.
Dex saves?
Dex save.
Anything that
Dex save.
Yeah, I think Avani, yeah, now that you know that it's there, you can just fly over it.
Damn.
How long can you fly, Avani? Like how far?
He's muted.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I think Sonmei, your thingy helps with this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, up to 4 hours? Okay, cool.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like, I think I would say it's just 15 minutes of walking through this like very slick slip and slide texture. Where is everybody? Did everybody roll? I think waiting for Huckle.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, good. Oh no, I lost my thing. Hold on.
Oh, Obi, no.
Oh yeah.
Obi, no.
No, overall.
Dexterity, huh?
Uh-huh.
Is it check or save?
Save.
Okay, I saw like. Oh wow.
How
16.
important is it to
Hey. And then
important to see?
you guys should add, what do you call it? Sunmay's bonus, which is how much again?
Oh yeah.
The +3. I realized I rolled a check, but like it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, it's the
my
same, I think, right?
+4 is still +1, so it'll be higher for me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets a flat +3.
Wow.
But I don't know if that will help Oberon very much.
Yeah, so 16, 20, 11, Avani's flying, Kevin 24, Yuli's flying. Okay, cool. I think everybody except for Oberon, you managed to sort of like hold your bearing, and like make it through kind of unscathed for the most part. Oberon, at some point, you kind of like, you're walking slowly and you're trying to make it, you know, as maybe gracefully or as steadily as possible. But maybe there's just a rock there that trips you up. And you like sort of slip and almost do a splits. As you try to like grab onto something and like hold your balance, and you bounce like against the rock. It does hurt a little bit, but like you're also kind of like covered in this slick this is nasty. This kind of wet material coming from the. Are you grabbing onto Kevin? Because I will give Kevin disadvantage on his.
Oh no!
Doing that.
Do you see the word imagine?
Imagine. Well, I don't know. You can make it reality.
No, continue.
Well,
Okay.
well, Obi, what are you gonna do?
Okay.
The revenge
No.
of the lightning bolt?
God.
One was on a roll.
Yeah, no. You like almost like crack your head on it's a hard stone, but it's like hard wet stone. And like while you like sit up, it doesn't hurt you physically. It just, is a little hard to see. And as you sit up, you kind of like from the angle that you're at, you see that in the ruin with the tree entwined with it, there's like a small white figure standing at the entrance. It's got your vision is a little twofold at the moment because you're a little dizzy. You may or may not have a wee concussion from the rock smack, but you can see just at almost like knee height, there's like a small white figure. It's got these big ears, almost like half the size of its body protruding from its head. And it looks like it's looking at you with like one gleaming red eye.
What the?
Hold on, it's a small white figure standing at the entry of the ruins?
Yeah, I mentioned you guys are walking past. So to your left, basically, to your west, there is like a big ruins, like almost like a tower, with like a tree intertwined with it, and like you can see it in your like vision because you're like kind of on the floor at the moment. Your head is like sort of turned to the left.
Huh, I see. I kind of like, well, I'm not yelling it, but like I think we're all like, in a line, so we're all pretty close to each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I softly call out like from my what is it? Like on the ground position, like, hey, everyone, there's something in the ruins. And then I kind of like point to the entryway where the says something small and white.
The moment you say "Hey everyone" and you point, the white figure that you saw, it almost looks like it's sitting up on its back like feet. Its head like swivels towards you, and after just like a millisecond, it like turns and bolts into the ruin.
Oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, there it goes. And so yeah, I get up and I'm like, looks like the ruins are definitely inhabited by something. Small, white, big ears, red eyes. And I'm like, Yuli, does that sound familiar?
Yuli, make me a history check. Why not? We're in your realm now. Did that the description of small white big ears red eyes, weirdly enough, can apply to a lot of things in the Feywild. And so that doesn't narrow it down very much for you. You think maybe, I don't know, some kind of weird gnome? Question mark.
Oh man, I like as a player, I think you might have mentioned this before. Well,
have I?
No time for that. Kind of. I don't know if it's exactly if it is what I think it is that you have pointed out before, but well, I mean, yeah. Well, we don't have time to investigate. Do we? Did the flyer have a time or a date?
Did it? It just says it's happening.
Yeah, one party entry. Okay. All right. I guess we'll just keep going.
Okay. Yeah, you guys keep going. You go past the wet tree, and you make your way up ahead. Eulalie is guiding you through the ruin/forest, which is now mercifully much more dry after maybe like 15-20 minutes of walking. And you find yourselves at a large, almost, it's not burnt, but it definitely doesn't look very alive. Almost like a hollow of a tree. And there seems to be a tunnel cut straight through the middle of it, leading towards the east.
Okay. I guess we go through it?
Yep. You guys head through the tree tunnel. The air, as you're sort of like passing underneath, this is like a massive tree, by the way, so it kind of like, it takes longer than you had assumed to walk through it. And you're walking through like the inner core of this hollowed out dry tree. The air inside of this tree, when you step through that first like threshold, like gate that's been carved into the front, it's like hot and dry in here. Definitely not humid at all. You quickly start to feel like your skin is kind of like sandy and papery.
Just like Asperia.
No.
Actually, yeah, honestly, for some of you, this feels really, really warm and almost comforting. You feel like you're in a desert, in a dry, sort of arid place. There's no sand that you can see. The floor underneath you is actually just made up of more like tree roots and like gnarled, knotted like vegetation that you can't actually see if there's like a dirt floor or anything. But yeah, it's like hot and dry in here, weirdly enough. Go ahead and make me, anyone who's paying attention, make me a perception check, please. Obi's too homesick. Can't tell.
Also, all of my dice rolls are like, whoa, they're rough today.
They're rough today.
D&D Beyond is mad. I rolled 20 yesterday.
Roll 20 was brutal yesterday, I will just say.
That was fucked up.
Fucking hateful moment. Almost TPK'd. Really rough. Let me see this real quick. Oh yeah. Anyone else want to roll? I don't think so. Just you. I don't know if Eulalie. I don't think Eulalie's rolling. She's just like, we need to go. We need to get there. Girls not paying attention. Cool. I think yeah, everybody except Oberon, I guess, and Eulalie. You guys all see as you're walking through the tunnel and you like look up, you notice that the sky here is different. The sky here is not the same sort of twilighty, dawn-ish sky that has been the same in your time in the Feywild, short as it is. The sky here is it's night for sure. It's night and it is cloudless, and there are a couple of stars twinkling above. You are still within the hollow of the tree. I think I will ask Hako and Kevin, make me... Is this survival? Is this nature? Let me check. Wait.
They're the same figures for me, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll just say it's, you can do nature or survival, either one. Yeah,
us?
not you, Avani.
Or just Kevin? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so just Kevin and Hako, not Avani.
Okay, nature or survival.
Yeah,
Kevin does
guidance
not know.
myself.
Dog.
Gonna guidance myself with the survival and okay, guidancing.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And for extra measure, I'm past lifing.
Okay,
with
past
a D6.
We're past lifing.
That's so. Okay, so 21.
21. Hako, where are you in the sort of like walking order? Do you think?
I would say middle back.
Middle back? Yeah. I think most of you except for Oberon and Yuli are looking up. To the others, it's like a night sky, which is kind of an anomaly here in the Feywild. You guys actually have no idea how long you've been here. It kind of feels like it's only been like an hour or two, but who fucking knows, right? But even in that time, like no part of the sky has shifted save for the clouds. Like light has not progressed or regressed in any sort of way, but here it is the night sky, and to you it's a familiar night sky. You can point out a constellation with your bare eyes that is maybe because of the Feywild or something to do with it, much brighter than you've ever seen it, but you know you've seen it. You can recall seeing this in a memory of a time when you were camping. You were out in nature. The sort of figure next to you while you're out there is faceless, but you know their voice. And you two are sitting around a campfire, and you see, you kind of like have this memory of sitting back, watching the flames flickering in front of you. The figure next to you at this point nudges your shoulder. Yes, this is from knowledge of a past life. That's correct. They nudge your shoulder and they like point up, and then they say, I don't know how much you know about constellations, but that one's my favorite. I'm pretty sure it represents, and they say a word that you can't parse. And you hear yourself in your sort of memory of this moment. You hear yourself like sort of chuckle a little bit, and you're like, you like it because it reminds you of, and then the word plays again. And then you say, I thought you liked it because it was, and then a different word sort of like blurs itself in your mind. And like the figure like sort of like nudges your shoulder and says, oh, I mean, I like it because of that too. But that's between you and me, you know. And both of you like chuckle, and you find yourself back in the Feywild, or you think it's the Feywild. You don't know, because that constellation above you is definitely in Asbria. But yeah, that's what you remember. I don't know if you do anything about that here, but yeah.
I think yeah. They're gonna
You don't say anything?
think they won't mention the entire details, but they'll ask about the constellations to the Asbrians.
Oh. Well, that I finally looked the fuck up. Right?
You finally looked the fuck up. Yeah, Oberon, I'll let you re-roll your I'll let you roll a nature check now that you're looking up. Yeah.
What is it? History?
No, nature or survival.
Oh. Ah.
Nice.
17?
Yeah. You know this constellation as well. I think you remember it in a weirdly similar memory. It's not the same memory. You didn't share the memory with Hako. But you also remember this from your travels during your pilgrimages. Specifically your pilgrimage to the Sesseth Mesa. The only way to cross the Sesseth Desert to get into the Mesa is by night. You cannot cross it during the day. It is sort of blisteringly unwelcome to cross, and so most of your memories of that area are of it at night. This particular constellation is known for being sort of the guiding star of this area, and sort of people point to it and say, oh, this just follow the tail to get to the Mesa. What the tail is attached to is sort of debate from the people who are from the area. Some say it's a dragon, some say it's a serpent, some say it's a lion. It's not entirely agreed upon, but everyone sort of refers to it as the Sesseth tail. And at the end of it, you'll find the Mesa, and sort of that's what your recollection of this constellation is.
Does the constellation have specific religious lore attached to it, or no?
Not in particular, no. This one is strangely agnostic of any religious lore.
Okay. Cool. Well, I shared that with Hako.
Gotcha. They nod. They don't say anything else, they nod, but, what, did you think they were gonna talk? Yeah, they're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Like, I asked Hako, any reason why you pointed that out? I assume, is that the only constellation up there? Or are there more constellations?
You guys are you're looking up from the inside of the trunk of a tree. That's the only one you can see. It is like a patch of the sky, not the whole sky. You guys are still inside the tree trunk at the moment.
Okay. Cool. Can I roll an insight to see if Hako's lying?
What's Hako didn't say anything. Hako just said okay.
Oh no, I asked, is there any specific reason? And Hako was like, just curious.
Yeah.
You can roll an insight, but it's not like a lie detector test, you know? Hako, you can, I don't know if you want to roll against.
Less of a lie and more of like, is it truly just like, random curiosity, or is there something to be like another layer of thought basically under why they asked?
You can roll it. I will let Yadi decide how to answer.
Sure.
You can, you could deny me too. I'm just asking for fun.
Why not?
Okay. Well, you know what? All of my rolls have been like sub 10 except for that one, so.
Watch this one get nat 20. Just because it's about Hako. This is the second roll.
It's not that
Do not speak into existence, man!
So
funny.
No,
it's
my
not
fans
a
zero incident.
So funny.
6 and 9. Nice.
Still, yeah. Well, Hako, up to you.
Could I roll deception just to see how straight their face is?
Oh yeah, buddy, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not like a deception, but like face check, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course.
I thought you were going to roll deception.
Well, alright.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say there's something on their mind. More than just curiosity, but you're not sure. I don't think you would know. Wouldn't you like to know, Featherboy?
Would you like to know Featherboy?
You say that?
No.
Please.
Oh my god.
I think they would look at him and be like, wouldn't you like to know?
Featherboy implied.
Okay. Oberon just smiles, and then what is it? We continue trip pacing through the tree.
Okay, yeah. You guys make it, in and out of the tree. Some of you noting maybe a familiar sight, a familiar environmental sensation, but sort of like the minute or the second you make it past the threshold of the other end of the tree, the temperature changes again. The temperature and the humidity goes back to that sort of ambient Feywild, which is honestly a little humid, but not like, you know, it's not damp, but it's a little more humid. It's a little colder as well. And there's like a magical tinge to it, but you're definitely no longer in that dry, hot state that you were earlier. And as you emerge on the other end, you can see that there is a large building, question mark. It's a ruin, but it's mostly, it looks like somebody's taken great pains to patch it up with stone and plants. It is kind of, it almost looks like a hydroponics tower. I don't know how to describe this in a fantasy way, but it's almost like a tower that has plants growing out of every nook and cranny where there used to be like a hole in the stonework. You can see some stones are mismatched, almost as if people have just found whatever to put in there to like fix it. There's a couple of like buildings, smaller, also ruins that seem to have been patched up around the base of this large tower, but by far the most like dominating thing in the landscape is the tower. And then sort of to the left of the tower and the buildings, you see that there is like a large tent and a blooming tree, sort of like with kind of like purplish petals like floating down just specifically in that area with the tent. You see a couple of people milling around. There's a larger crowd sort of closer to the tent, and there's like a it's really crude. It's like a stake in the ground about hip height with a sign that to Eulalie and Sonmei only says Rinkatorg's ruins, parentheses, the town, close parentheses.
I'll tell everybody what it says. It literally is called the town. I'm surprised.
Wow, it's like solar punk tower, huh? Low, but like low tech.
Low tech.
Low tech solar punk.
Well, I guess we enter and check out the town?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, like I mentioned, it's not very big. It's like more of a village with a big fucking tower in the middle than it is a town.
Wow.
The buildings around it, I would say, do not even exceed 5. Right, there's it seems to be there is a greengrocer's with an open front, and they're selling some weird looking produce that you don't know what most of those are. Yeah, most of the text here cannot be seen by anyone without Fey ancestry. In Sonmei's case specifically, even with Sonmei's Fey ancestry, she probably wouldn't be able to see it given the type of elf she is, but she has your warlock thing, right?
Yeah, I have an invocation for that.
Yes, yeah. Sonmei has an invocation, so she can see it. And then obviously Eulalie can see it because she's from here. But yeah, for the rest of you, it just kind of looks like there's a big monstera leaf stapled to, not stapled, but it's like nailed to a post. Like, why did somebody do that? Question mark. But yes, there's a greengrocer's selling some fruits of questionable variety. There seems to be a stand, it's more like a shack built into a ruin than anything else, that seems to be selling a bunch of people sitting next to chairs offering polish of indeterminate sort. So some people are there. You can see a couple of pixies getting their wings polished. You can see there is what looks like a goblin getting his sword polished, not the penis, but the actual sword. Just to clarify.
Okay.
Immediately after I said, and then there's like, it seems like there's an elf getting their scabbard, oh my god, I almost said something even worse. Getting their scabbard cleaned up. So yeah, it just seems like a place where people get stuff polished. Some of the other buildings might just be houses. You're not sure. You don't see anybody coming in and out of them. There's a couple of people milling about, but like I said, the largest concentration of the crowd is sort of moving towards the tents on the western side. Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, that's self-inflicted. There's no, I don't know, shack or shop that may be selling, I don't know, maps, anything like that, or trinkets, things like that.
Yeah.
It's just a polish shack and the greengrocer, and then some like residential houses.
I guess we can go window shopping just a little bit.
Yeah, give me a perception check, anyone who wants to, or give me an investigation check if you want to look for something specific.
Oh, so kind of you.
What if just generally anything that seems interesting rather than anything specific?
Yeah, the most interesting thing, you can roll for that too if you want to see something super interesting. Go ahead. Yeah, you can roll perception if you want to see something interesting. Roll me investigation if you want to see something specific.
Yeah, I'm not looking for specific. 15.
So 15 for interesting, 21 for interesting, 25 for specific, 16 for specific. Oh, you want something interesting? Yeah, go ahead. You can roll yours, Avani. And then Oberon, you rolled for specifically like a store?
Yeah. Or, you know what? We need directions, I think. So, something, if not map, then maybe somebody... Oh, I don't know, actually, if I can ask for... Oh, I'll swear. Somebody who looks like they know shit.
Big ask in the Feywild, to be honest with you.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with the specifics first. So the only one doing something specific is Oberon. Huh?
Oh, Kevin. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Kevin switched to perception. So
perception, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think Avani also switched to perception. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So I think, Oberon, you're trying to look for somebody who knows anything, which maybe from your brief encounters with the 3 people that you've known or that you've talked to from the Feywild, being Merlin, Eulalie, and now that white-haired elf, not great examples of people who know shit as far as you're concerned. But, you know, you're looking around, and I think rather than a person who knows stuff, you find what looks to be kind of next to, like, tucked away behind the shoe polish, not shoe polish, sorry, the polish station. It kind of looks like there's a little market where people are just laying out blankets and selling miscellaneous goods. And there's a couple of people like milling around, like pointing at stuff. You spot that there are a couple of books being sold. And by books, I mean, it looks like a bunch of leaves that are tied together and then rolled into a ball. But it could be a book. It could just be a cat toy. You don't know. But yeah, it seems like there is a sort of flea market going on next to the polish station. For those who are doing perception checks, I will go in order. Avani, you notice that the big tower in the middle, people are going in and out of the tower pretty frequently. You notice that there's also spots on the tower where flying creatures, beings, are entering and exiting. There seems to be a balcony a couple of floors up that, you know, you see what looks like a bird that is bipedal. This could be an Aarakocra. You haven't seen one in quite some time, but then Aarakocra sort of like hops down from the balcony and like flies off, and then you see another fairy land a few moments later, and there's another one of those balconies a little bit higher up, maybe a little bit less trafficked. But yeah, the tower itself seems to have many like entrances and exits, and people are just coming in and out of it. Next on perception, Sunmei, yeah, I will say that this makes sense for you. You see that the town has, you can hear it before you see it, actually. You can hear the sound of running water. And like to the east, I should have done a map of this town, but I did not do it. I will draw one for you here. Can you guys see it? The box that I'm drawing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you guys are here at the bottom. That's you. And then here's the big tower in the middle, of which there are a couple of entrances, and there's like plants and shit, right? This is the polish store. Yeah, like that. And then people are getting stuff polished here. This is P for polish store. And then there's like a there's like a greengrocer here. This is the greengrocer. There you go. G for grocery. And then over here are like more further that way are the big tents. T for tents. And then the what do you call it? The swap meet is like here. Swap meet. Sonmei, you hear sort of like in the periphery, and then you turn around and you see it. There is a river that seems to curve around the tower and then curve around, almost circling this entire encampment or village question mark, and it is like burbling loudly. You can also hear sort of like a clacking noise, like a clack 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 clack, coming from behind the tower. Who is next? Let me go. I think it is Hako next. Yes. Oh no, it's Kevin next, because Kevin switched to perception. Kevin, you can, what does Kevin see? Oh yeah, this makes sense. So Kevin, what actually happens is when you get to this area, Olive runs off. Olive has been running off and then coming back and then running off and then coming back, but like ever since you walked through the dry tree, he's sort of like just trotted next to you, especially while inside the tree. But the minute you guys have exited the tree and made it to this like sort of encampment, he's like darted off, or he's darted off again. And you notice this time he comes back, and he starts like tugging on your pant leg question mark, and then starts pulling you towards what looks like a door on the side of, just to the side of the here, I'll write it, to the side of the tower. So it is like a little door that is not the main door, and then all of his tugging you towards there.
Okay, I'll take my action after the you're done with description, or should I just?
Oh, that's done for now. That's what you see.
Okay.
And then Hako, I think, is the last one with your 21. Hako, you're noticing all of this happen. You're noticing the people flying in, flying out. You see the big tent. You can hear something from the tents. And you can hear, specifically, you hear what sounds like somebody say, Merlin? And then a different name that you're not familiar with. And then another name you're not familiar with. And then Hag. And you hear it because it's being shouted from sort of the direction of the tents.
Their head swivels to the tent. Like, how far is the tent?
So I drew it close, but it is like sort of, I would say a good 100 meters away. It's right at the edge of the water where the moat is.
Gotcha.
And you guys can't see much of it except like that's the top spires of the tent that like poke out and have little flags.
Yeah, could they like kind of like, who's the nearest person?
Who's next to you in the, probably Sonmei is in the back, so it's maybe Sonmei, actually.
Oh, I don't know if I want. Well, I'll tell Sonmei. I don't know if I want to send the loud paladin over, but They're going to grab somebody like, I heard Merlin's name. Points to the tent over there. Talking about Merlin, 2 people, and hags.
Okay. I sort of like gesture to where I guess like the people at the front of the party are. Just like, do you want to take a few of them with you to go eavesdrop? I want to check out what's going on with the tower. And also I think like, well, it's not very subtle, right? The fact that Olive is like expressively tugging at like Kevin.
Yeah.
I point that out, just like, I think something's going on. I want to check out the tower. I should tell them.
Gotcha.
I think I would tell the others. Just sort of like, well, we're just milling about, right? But I'll tell the rest just like, Haku says that they heard Merlin's name being shouted in the tents and something about the hags. And also there seems to be something up with the tower. So, you know.
Yeah, I'll join you on the tower. Olive seems to want to go there as well, so.
Yeah. I want to give the tower like a quick look. It seems to be the centerpiece of this town anyway. And I mean, what's going on in the tents could be really interesting. But I mean, I gesture at like the heavy weaponry I'm carrying. I'm not gonna be very good at like eavesdropping, you know.
Oh, I know. But I figured.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I'm very aware.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm very aware.
That makes 2 of us.
Just telling you so you're aware when we split off.
Okay. How are we gonna split? What do you guys think?
The whole wisdom folks team up.
Yeah.
So that's the team tower with Sanmei, Kevin, and Olive, right?
Yep.
Going to the tent.
So Sanmei, Kevin, and Olive going to the tent. Is everybody else going to Sanmei, Kevin, and Olive are going to the tower, not the tent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then is everybody else going to the tent?
Yeah, we got an invitation as a party, so Oberon wants to go to the flea market, but after checking out the tent real quick.
Okay.
How about me and Sonmei will join you guys at the tent after just quick look at the tower.
I'm just worried that if we don't go show up as a is this like a ticket? Like entire party must be present.
It's a one-time only thing.
Yeah, and like if you're not there when we present a ticket, you're not allowed in.
I don't think that's the case. Probably.
Maybe if you can just say that you've got 2 more people and a dog that will be joining shortly, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we don't even know if that's where like the play is being held. So you could just like, you know.
You look around and there's nothing else happening except for the friggin' tents like 100 feet away, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think the play is held anywhere else other than that big tent over there. Okay, well then I guess we can split off like this.
Okie dokie. Let's deal with the tower people first, shall we? So you guys, being Sanmei and Kevin, right? Going to the tower?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take a look at what's behind the tower, because I heard a noise.
Mm-hmm.
I think like somebody probably thinks it might be like a water wheel or something, but just curious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kevin, are you going behind?
On the way.
Or?
Is the door on the way?
Yeah, feasibly, yeah.
Yeah. Then do you mind like just kind of going? What's the word I'm looking for here? Yeah, going to the back, but on the way, can we just check it out real quick, and then can we just stop by real quick by the door to see why the dog is so excited over it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay. So you guys, I'm assuming you're like walking this way, right? And you make it to the door, and Olive is like excitedly pawing at it for you. And you notice it's not like a door at all per se. It looked like one from a distance, but it is in fact a door-shaped cubby, and there are a bunch of smaller doors there. One of which has your name on it, Kevin.
Huh?
Well,
I start.
I see.
Kevin. What?
Well, first Kevin's gonna pet Olive, saying, "Thank you for showing me this." And can I open the little door?
Yeah.
With my name on it?
Yeah, there's like a little knob in the middle. It's almost like a PO box. Yeah, a mailbox. Sure. This is actually, Kevin, strangely enough, this is the first bit of like writing that you've been able to read since you got here. The other boxes, the other sort of like cubbies, you don't see anything on them. There's just the one with your name on it. It's sort of just sitting inconspicuous. Fuck, bro. It's sort of sitting there non-suspiciously. And you pull the handle and it like slides right out. Inside is a what looks like a canister. It is like onyx in color, but the end caps are, let me double check my notes before I say anything incriminating. One moment. Hum. Okay, yeah. The caps are this sort of like blood red color, and they are, when you hold on to like the caps at either end of the tube, they are covered in a cool and soft like slidey silk fabric.
Wow.
And then give me a quick what's your passive actually?
Of what?
What's your passive perception?
It's 19.
Oh yeah. Holding this up to yourself, this smells just so faintly of incense. There's like a slight sort of like nympha, like floral scent to it.
Do I recognize it
Yes.
from anything in the past?
You recognize this smell.
Okay.
There is only one place you have ever smelled this, and you cannot forget that place.
Kevin's kind of like tentatively put it away for now, and gonna open it later when it's more private, I guess.
That's so funny. I'm just staring at him receiving like personal mail. I'm just like, that's weird.
Some of you are like,
by the way,
anyway.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes,
Anyway,
I'm super curious. What are the other names in this like little PO box, or is it just Kevin?
Oh no,
is it only
you can
his,
read.
Like...
You can read that there's a bunch of other names. Kevin can't see any of the names, but you can.
Great. Can you give me a bunch of give me a bunch of the names? Which one sounds the funniest?
There's one.
No.
There's one that is. It catches your eye immediately because it is taking up most of the like little cubby. It's not these are not huge cubbies, right? They're enough to fit a couple letters and like a canister like Kevin's. This one, it takes up the whole front of the panel, and some of it starts to like bleed into the like it's like taped over the second one underneath it because the name is so long. This one is Sir, let me open my fucking NPC name sheet.
Oh shit!
Where's my thingy?
I remember the list.
Yeah, I have my list.
It's just gonna be your new name, Sunmay. You're just gonna take some poor lad's name.
This is
of a PO box.
Addressed to Sir Hieronymus Shardano, second of his name, of the Starlight Circle, Horatio Jr.'s seventh uncle, son of Virgil. And it's written in like super fancy font, and it like kind of big font, which is why it gets to the bottom. But this is a long ass crazy person name. And then next to it is Henry.
Oh wow!
Money, put that shit in NPC right now.
I'm gonna listen to the recording and then I'll put it on the NPC box. I have no idea what I just said.
They just be sending mail to anyone these days. I'm surprised it's all the way over here. I turned to Kevin, just like, do you have any dealings with the Feywild that we're not aware of?
Yeah, actually, when you say that, Sunmei, what's your passive?
My passive?
Yeah.
It's like, perception, 16.
Oh, yeah. As you say that, and you're like staring, and right before you like turn to Kevin, the corner of your eye like flickers, and you swear one of the names just changed.
Huh. Oh. How curious. Can I do I know like roughly where?
Yeah,
Which
it was
part?
one on the bottom left ish. It's a few boxes away from Kevin. It changed from, I think it said Mr. Wigglesbottom Mushroom Town, and it changed to Lament.
Lament? Oh. Okay, well, I'm not in the business of stealing people's mail. Feels incriminating, so I will simply leave that alone. It's scary.
It's scary, yeah. And then like, a few seconds later, a different one changes, and then it changes to like a different name that you don't know, and then sometimes the one that had Kevin's name on it has already changed.
Oh, okay, interesting. But yeah, I think like she turned to like Kevin just to double check, right? Because do you have any like prior dealings with the Feywild? Like, I mean, the thing that you took, is it safe? Everything good?
Yeah, Kevin scratches his head. I don't know. I think I had any dealings with Feywild as far as I can remember right now. Has he?
Right. But I mean, like, I'm just asking because, I mean, if you're sure what you took from there is safe, then I'm chill with it, you know? But like...
Yeah, I kind of have an idea about who it might be from.
So it's mail actually meant for you, right?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, it was the only one I could read. I don't know about you, but like for me, this post boxes says nothing on it. That one only just said my name.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, as long as that thing, whatever it is safe. But yeah.
I don't know about safe, but I'll take it for now. I don't want to like clog up a post box.
Yeah, of course.
Because I didn't collect my mail. Shall we go check out the back?
Yeah, we'll just like ring around the back really quick, and we'll end up by the tent anyway, and we can meet up with the rest.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, Kevin, you look back at the mailbox when you are like trying to turn and leave. Your name's not there anymore, and you can't read anything else on the post box. But yes, you all can head to the back of the building. I'm just gonna finish the tower folks first before we move to the theater because you all are getting there eventually.
Yep.
You guys head to the back of the tower, and as you suspected, Sunmei, correct, there is a water wheel. It is gently like clicking away, like click, 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 as the water is like flowing through it and then up and over. Nice. You notice though that like at each spoke of the water wheel, there seems to be I don't know how else to describe this. They look like fish, but the fish have legs, and the fish are jogging along the track. And
do I hear them as I pass? Do they sound like they're gymming?
Oh, it sounds like, you know, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, where all the dwarves are singing their like mining song.
Yeah.
These are fish. They're all singing their jogging song. They're like, we jog all day and we run the wheel it spins, and so do we. We love to run the fish that's wet. We love to run the wheel. We run all day, and then it just like repeats itself. That's great. Yep.
That's great. I clap for them as we pass. Just like, keep it up, boys.
They give you a hoorah as you pass, in unison, all of them.
Yeah, awesome. Well, all's well that ends well, I suppose. And we go up. I guess like we're done here. We'll meet up with the rest at the tent.
Yeah. You guys make it to the tent. And the rest of you are headed to the tent. I will send you there. So you all kind of see there's like a tent building, right? butted up against the edge of the river. You can see people like slowly filtering in through the front. You can't see sort of past them because the entrance itself is actually quite small. It is just enough for like maybe 1.5 people to walk side by side, and you can't actually see into the tent because it's quite dark. But as you like sort of like walk in and queue up, you can meet up with the rest of your friends. They've been queuing in line, and so you guys sort of just slip in with them. You make it to the front of the tent, and you can see that on several misshapen boxes, and I think also one very large mushroom, there sits a snake, but the snake has like a single monocle on its left eye, and its tail is holding up a big leaf, and it's looking at the leaf, and it's looking up at you as you sort of come up, and it says, "State your name, please, and hands over any invitations you might have."
Wait, who had it? I think Avani had the leaflet, but she can hand out over, and I'm like, is it party traveling with is it Eulalie?
The snake looks up at you, Eulalie, because it knows you, and it looks back down at the paper, or the leaf it's holding, I guess, and goes, yes, those with Miss Eulalie's party invited here by our... What does the invitation say? Give it here. And another tail comes out from behind them to grab the invitation that you guys have. So now the snake's got 2 tails. And it holds it up to itself, and it says, invited by... What is this? Tree number 3. Okay, I didn't know he still had any comp tickets to hand out, but okay. You may enter. Please remember to clap when appropriate and enjoy the show. Next. And it presumably waves you inside with a 3rd tail that just sort of pops up from behind it.
We head in to see the show.
Okay. You guys walk in to the dark tent and sort of like lift the flap that is sort of in the inner side, and then it's dark when you enter. You can't quite see much, but like once the flap closes behind you, you find yourself in a space much larger than is correct for the tent that you just entered. I mean, the tent was not like that small, but again, like the town itself, not very big. This arena, this place you find yourself in, much larger, I believe, than like the entire space that the town inhabited. And in fact, when you enter the tent, you guys come in through like over here, basically. You find yourself in the place you see now. You are suddenly on a cliffside. You can hear the roaring, thunderous beating of thousands of millions of gallons of water from above, and it looks like it's going to hit you, right? It looks like it's raining, but the water just passes, like once it hits like the top of this filigree dome that you're in, it just sort of like hits it, goes through, but you don't seem wet. But you see that it like is bouncing off the like walls on the other end, past the see-through. You don't know if it's glass. It's extremely clear, but past the sort of like confines of the filigree dome that you find yourself in, there is a chasm of like a dark purple sea. Above you, like I said, seems to be a waterfall, a deluge of water pouring down, and in the distance you can see there is lightning strikes that happen pretty much constantly. You can hear, now that you're in here, the din roar of like a crowd ready to enjoy a show. There is here in the front, you can't see the front view because this is from the back view of the stage, but this is the front of the stage. There is a what looks like a large wooden depiction of a tree, massive in size, and sort of, even from just the depiction of it in like prop like painting, excuse me, very imposing to see. And you hear like a loud booming voice as you like mill about, and you see like the stands are basically almost full, say, "Ladies, gentle fae, everyone who does not identify as any of these things, creatures of the twilight, we welcome you to our production. Please make your way to your seats, find an attendant. The show will be starting soon." And the people that are milling around you sort of like try to find their way to the seats. As you like sort of get to the stands, there is a this time it's a snake that has a bow tie on it, and it also has like little dove wings coming out of its back. It only has one tail though, but it's like gently hovering in front of the sort of entry to the stands, and say, "Lady, please find your seats. Please be seated for the show. Remember to turn off all scrying devices, because there will be no recording of the show allowed. And if you have any snacks, please do finish them, as we do not want to hear crunching during the performance. Let me know if you need help finding your seat. Oh, hello. Do you know where you're seated?" And they sort of like hover above you guys.
I'm afraid not. I turned to Yuli and Sami. I'm like, I don't think there were any seat numbers on that invitation, were there?
No. Sorry, can you direct us to the nearest free seats?
It is assigned seating. May I see your invitation, please?
Yeah, sure. We'll show it.
The little snake, she picks it up with her tail, hovering above you. She looks at it, and then she shoves it in her mouth. And as she's like chewing it, she goes, "Okay, please follow me. I will head to your seats and send you on your way. The show is starting soon, so please keep up." And she sort of like flits and hovers, and she goes up the stairs past the first sort of row, and then she goes past the second, and then she keeps going, and then she keeps going, and the stairs at this point are kind of steep, but she keeps going up, and she keeps going up. And you guys find yourselves at the very back, sort of like this corner of the stadium, and it is behind you are like wood paneled like walls. No further seats are behind you. You're in the very back sort of row. The view from here, surprisingly decent, if very small, but you know, you get a good feel for it. The acoustics are nice. You can definitely hear. As you settle in, you see next to you there appears to be a satyr wearing a little fuzzy pink sweater, and they're seated next to a centaur who has to like get up and get out of the row so that you guys can get in, so that they can sit at their corner seat as they requested. And they like look at you. The satyr looks at you and says, "Oh, are you? Oh, sorry. Here, you can. We'll get out of the way so you can get seated. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited." And then like they're sort of like clinging on to the centaur's arm, and the centaur is like, "Yes, you're very excited. You've said that maybe 40 times on the way here. Why did we need to watch it in this like backwater town? And couldn't we just watched it back at, you know, back at the Glen?" And then the satyr goes, "Oh, Bobby, you know it's better here. They're more authentic. I mean, I think the actors are a little... They look much closer, you know? Much closer to the prince and princess than the actors they have at the Glen. Mostly, you know, it's biased about it." And then the centaur goes, "Yeah, I guess. I mean, what's authenticity for? I mean, if you wanted authenticity, we should just go to summer court to watch it." And they go, "Yeah, I don't want to go to summer court. You know what happened with the... What if there's another terrorist attack? I don't want to be there." And they're just like whispering to each other next to you. And you guys can find your seats. As you do, the lights, like maybe like the moment your butts hit seats, the lights dim in the stadium. And then that same sort of like booming voice finds itself speaking out, and it says, "Welcome, everybody, to our production. You will hear today a tale of love, loss, war, passion, a little bit of whimsy." And then at that, the crowd like laughs like it's a funny joke, but I don't know if any of you also think it's funny. And then the voice goes, "This series of events is based on the extremely true story, the drama that has unfolded at the last tree of Summer Court." And then the curtains like pull away in the middle of the stage, and you see standing there in the middle, man, it kind of... There's an elf with bright red hair. A big sword in a military uniform. Make me a perception check. Anybody who's watching, which I'm assuming is all of you.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
Nah. Reload my stuff because it... Yeah, okay. I DC'd for a bit back there, so now everything is like...
Yeah. You don't need to make this check. You pass automatically.
She's out here watching fanfic.
Well, well,
this is literally Avatar: The Last Airbender theater.
Oh my god, real
RPF.
RPF. Feywild RPF. Nope, don't see anything.
No, you see it. You see an elf with red hair. You've seen many elves with red hair, to be fair. I think they're just kind of everywhere. And yeah, so for Sunmay, Kevin, Sunmay and Kevin, this person's hairstyle, it's not exactly right. It's a little more, it's a little less fluffy and a little more like sleek. And the hair's a little bit too dark. And the eyes are definitely wrong, but this looks like it could make for a passable like version of Merlin. Hako, you notice all of that. You also see that like this Merlin lookalike question mark is like making a face that you've never seen Merlin make before, except for one time on the train. You know when on the train. It's this look of seriousness and a look of blankness. And that's where we'll end for today.
Oh my.
Oh.
Yippee!
Very nice.